Fear Street is back with Fear Street Prom Queen. This is the fourth movie in the Fear Street franchise. It's been a while since we got a Fear Street movie. We need one of these every fucking year, bro. Or at least two Fear Street movies a year, because I really dig this franchise. I like 94, 78, and even the weakest one for me is the 1666. That whole trilogy was really dope, and seeing them kind of go back to this world with the 80s, this being 1988, and it having a prom setting, and all of the promotional marketing for this was really dope, like them remixing different posters that are inspired by other slasher or horror movies. Like you had them do like a riff off of the Halloween poster and even Nightmare on Elm Street. And I avoided the trailer. I was just going to go into this blind, and I'm really surprised by this movie for sure. Very different tone compared to the Fear Street trilogy, but they definitely keep the brutality going in these movies. Really dope. So our main character, Lori, is narrating at the beginning, and she's pretty much breaking down who's who. You have her rival, Tiffany, and the wolf pack of like her group of friends. It's pretty much kind of like the Mean Girls of like the 80s. So it's getting ready to be prom. They're like 2 nights away or something like that. And Lori and Tiffany kind of have this beef that kind of stems back with their parents, and there's this kind of really nasty rumor going around that Lori's mom had something to do with her father's death, and that kind of gets rubbed in her face constantly. And to kind of just sum it all up, it's pretty much this killer going after all these different prom queen nominees. There's like 6 of them. There's Lori, Tiffany, Melissa. Melissa's a part of the wolf pack. Also, Debbie's a part of the wolf pack. Drawing a blank on the next one, but then there was Christy. She was kind of like the first person to go, and I'm really surprised on how this movie is structured. And what I mean by that, it's definitely a more slower pace. This movie takes its time in the beginning. Like the first 30 minutes, you only get 1 kill, and the kill was all right. It was kind of lackluster, but as the movie kind of progresses and we actually get to prom night, that's when things get really interesting, as you start to see characters being chopped up or disappearing one by one. And it was fascinating, because I will say the last like 30 minutes really saved this movie for me. It really like amped everything up and really went crazy and turned things up to a 10. The negatives I will say, is our main lead, Lori. I feel like she is like the weakest element to this movie, and she just came off really bland and kind of boring for the most part until like the last, so odd minutes. Megan, her best friend, she's kind of like the horror person. She had a lot more personality to her. She had a lot more going on. She was the one that was like Scooby-Dooing the shit, like figuring out like, yo, why are people kind of coming up missing? Things are kind of going on, like weird things are going on with the electricity. Something ain't right. And I even say Tiffany also had a little bit more of a complex character to her that made her more interesting to watch than Lori, because Lori would get like scolded a lot of the time, and it's just not a lot of reaction. It's a lot of just bland. It's a very bland performance that comes from her. That's unfortunate because to me, when I'm watching this movie, I was like, damn, why couldn't they make Megan the lead and kind of flip this on its head and do something different? Now, with the killer, it's really interesting. There's a lot of interesting kills, a lot of dismemberment in this movie, and I really appreciate that, even though I still don't think nothing will come close to that bread slicing scene in 94. This one it definitely pleased me because I was kind of worried at first just because like how spread out the kills were. I like that the killer just don't give a fuck who is around. You know, I appreciate killers that they stalk their prey, but they're also not afraid of who is around. They don't give a damn. They'll just take out whoever's in their way. That was really cool. The design of the killer is very generic, but you know, that's very key to like an 80s kind of slasher. There's nothing too much going on with that. The reveal of who the killer is I would say is predictable, but also I am satisfied at the same time because it ends with a really crazy reveal that, man, I really wish I could talk about it more, but I know this movie just came out and I don't want to spoil that for anybody, but I really dug how they went about finishing this movie. Did it feel a little bit rushed? Yes, in a little bit of areas with the third act where they take their time in the beginning and just kind of finish things off, and makes me think like, will there be a part 2 to this? I don't know. I just need a Fear Street movie every year. I will put this above 1666. I don't know if I would put it over 78. Maybe I'll put it over 78 just because I really liked how the movie ended as far as how things got concluded. I am disappointed with just like the lead actress for the most part. I feel like that could have been better for sure. But like I said, I want to see what they do next. We need like at least 2 or 3 Fear Street movies a year. Like start just pumping these out. I'm cool with just one a year, but let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. Where would you rank this? Is this your favorite over the trilogy, or do you feel like this is the weakest one? Let me know your thoughts. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.